My project is on lactic acid. I decided this originally because when I was 9, I started running, and I was sick after a race, and I always wondered why, and was told that it was because of lactic acid. So I decided that my main question would be what type of people are more prone to lactic acid, and test different variables to see which one showed positive. I started my project by researching what people who had experienced lactic acid, and there was this athlete, a cyclist actually, Laura Trott, who had suffered it every time she races. So I always thought that it was the people that were less fit would suffer more, but then if she was cyclist, I wondered why it would happen to her. I researched also why it happens, obviously. It's the lack of oxygen to the muscle, so lactate forms, and then when lactic acid occurs, it has symptoms of nausea, muscle fatigue, and burning in the muscles. Then how to test for it, but you had to take blood samples, so I didn't think that would be appropriate to test everyone with blood sample, and I didn't think everyone would get consent for it. So I moved on to what variables I would choose. So I chose height, gender, fitness, weight, and age. In the end, I only ended up doing 3 because height, gender, and fitness, because weight and age, I would have to take a larger sample, and I'd have to get a mixed age, which would be difficult to do. And so with fitness, I would take the resting heart rate, pulse rate, to test how fit they were before the test. Then gender, to see whether female and male affected lactic acid, and height, I didn't really know. Originally I thought that the greater an individual's level of fitness would lower the extent of lactic acid build-up, and the taller an individual, the lesser extent of lactic acid build-up. And I thought females would be more affected by lactic acid because they have less muscle than men, so I thought it would affect it. So I gathered 20 random people, 10 boys and 10 girls, and I decided to test for lactic acid. I would make them do anaerobic activity for as long as they could. Anaerobic activity is exercise purely on restraint of your muscles, which is the main cause for lactic acid. So I took their height, gender and fitness before testing them, and I ensured that every person was tested 3 times on different occasions, and an average was taken of the times. So I took the average anaerobic endurance time, and which measures the severity of the lactic acid build-up. And then the resting heart rate was to measure the cardiovascular fitness, as if more fit, then the heart can contract. So, yeah, basically fitter people. So I took a picture of the group, 5 people that did the experiment. I took 5 people at a time, so then I could measure their time more easily. And they were told to do squats for as long as possible and as fast as they could. And when they started to slow down, I stopped the time, and that was recorded. Then they did an equivalent arm activity for as long as possible. And yeah, they were tested 3 times on different occasions. I put all the data into an Excel spreadsheet of their height, fitness, and then their time on each exercise of average. And then I took an average of the leg and arm exercise, so it would get an all-round average. So yeah. Then I decided to put them into scatter graphs, and the relationship between height and the endurance time was quite little correlation, and I put it came up with minus 0.3. So -1 would be high negative correlation, and +1 would be high positive correlation. So that didn't get much correlation at all. Then relationship between resting heart rate and anaerobic endurance time, that had quite a strong negative correlation of -0.7. So meaning that the higher you they endured the anaerobic activity, the lower their resting heart rate. So the fitter the person, the longer they would go for on the activity. And then for male and female, I put it into an average of all their times, and it turned out that females actually sustained the activity longer than male, but only by 1 or 2 seconds. So the conclusions were that the taller an individual, the more severe lactic acid buildup is likely to be, but this is, as it's only based on 20 people because of resources, it's not completely accurate, and but the more physically fit an individual, the less severe lactic acid buildup is likely to be, is more accurate, because I did research based on this, which also showed similar results. And then males are likely to experience more severe lactic acid buildup, which could be because they have more muscle, so they will experience lactic acid more. And yeah, any questions?
What is lactic acid?
It's the build-up of lactate in the muscles, which cause people to be sick or feel burning in their legs, or
What's lactate? So you're talking to somebody who knows nothing about something.
Lactate is when...
Is it a fluid?
Yeah, well, in the body where oxygen, when muscles don't get enough oxygen to the body, glucose then breaks down in the muscles, and lactate is formed.
And is that to protect the muscles then?
It's just a side effect of
Physical exercise.
of anaerobic.
I've heard about it. I mean, it gets talked about a lot, but I didn't actually know exactly what it is. And I mean, your results fit with my experience. I've never had lactic acid, and I'm short, and I'm female.
Yeah. Have you ever done skiing?
Yeah.
Skiing, do you feel like burning?
Yeah. Never get it.
Never burning?
Never. I don't go that fast right enough, so I mean, I'm not working my legs that much, but I've never experienced it, you see. So but thank you, now I know something more about lactic acid.
When I go skiing, I always get burning in my legs, and so it's...
Maybe you need to work on it. Sorry.
Wrong.
Thank you.
I know a fair bit of this stuff because I did this at uni, but I was also a
Fine.
biology teacher, so I'm well aware of it. My question to you is, when they were doing the tests, did you have some sort of... So you said when they slowed down, you stopped the time.
Yeah.
Did you have some sort of questionnaire about how much their legs were hurting, or if they started to feel any burning?
I did a questionnaire, but it wasn't relevant to the test that I did.
Okay. And my second question, which you might know a little bit about, besides age and gender and height, you said you just took... And fitness. You said your resting heart rate. You said you took 5 people at a time. Did you look at any other factors, or do you know any other factors that might affect that?
No. When I researched it, they were the main 5 that I could find.
Yeah, because you said at the beginning that you concentrated on those few factors. Why is height an issue?
I don't think that it could be. I was thinking about this, that the taller the person, the muscles would be longer, and also if the taller person, the weight would usually be more, which could affect when they're doing exercise.
You mean in terms of fatty tissue, or not necessarily fatty tissue, just being.
Yeah.
So but wait a minute, a fitter person has got more weight in terms of muscle, haven't they?
Yeah.
But did you not say the fitter they were, the less likely they are?
Yeah.
So there could be a sort of clash there, couldn't there? Tall, fit people.
Robin?
Is burning the only side effect?
No, nausea, so as in being sick or feeling sick, and muscle fatigue. So
has anybody discovered why?
Why it happens?
Yeah, why it makes you feel nauseous. I mean, I get the muscle thing. You explained the muscle thing to me, and I understand that. But why the nausea?
When I was sick, there was like a burning in my throat, and then I was sick. So I don't know if that came.
So it's like the muscles are talking to each other or something.
Do you know why? I don't know. It's just your body trying to break it down and get rid of it. So the burning sensation comes from the acid term comes from the build-up of hydrogen ions in your muscles, and that affects the pain receptors in your muscles. So you get a burning sensation. That's why there's the fatigue there as well. All right. So when it's pumping around your body to get rid of it and to break it down, that's why it spreads out. And that's why you become nauseous, because it's then taking resources from elsewhere.
I almost understood that.
Yeah. Anything else, guys?
Okay, well done.
Thanks, mate.